We're here at another beautiful kitchen from Royal Kitchens and Baths. This kitchen is a little different than the other videos because it's urban contemporary theme. And there's a lot of features in this kitchen that you'll notice are different than a lot of other kitchens. For example, you'll notice here that the kitchen has open soffits. Sometimes people feel that the cabinets always have to go to the ceiling, and that's not necessarily the case because sometimes less is more. And in an urban contemporary environment, leaving the open soffit, leaving more wall space can add to the theme. So we're going to go through this kitchen, and you'll notice that we're going to discuss a lot of features that you may have seen in some of the other videos and some features that are going to be new to this kitchen. So we're going to get started with the laundry area that is off of the kitchen. This particular client actually purchased a traditional themed kitchen in a previous home over 20 years ago. And this particular kitchen is part of a newer home that they purchased in Valley Cottage, but they wanted it to be a little bit more efficient now that the children are older. So one of the things we did is we included a washer dryer stack along with a broom closet. So this gave them easy access to the laundry all on the same floor, and they used the same matching Wenge composite veneer doors for the laundry area, as you may see in the video as we walk around. But on the inside of this cabinet, you can see it's a little bit taller than usual, and the reason for that is so that the brooms, the vacuums, and things like the step stool can all fit conveniently in the cabinet. One of the things that makes this kitchen really unique and stand out is if you take a look at the flooring, we have a 12 by 24 brick pattern with a gray background with a white marble vein running through it. It's drop dead gorgeous in my opinion. It makes the kitchen look very high end. And one of the reasons is because it has a gloss finish. Sometimes people are a little hesitant to use a gloss finish in the kitchen, but you can see here it looks gorgeous. It came out beautiful, and it really enhances that urban contemporary high-end look. We can see how beautiful the hearth cooking area came out, and I just want to talk about some of the features. We'll notice here that this hood does go to the ceiling, so it contrasts the open soffit, which is nice. In order to get the headroom that you need to really cook, you can see I'm 6 foot tall, and it clears very easily. So I like the way that it looks. You'll also notice the vents on the side of the ductwork. This particular hood is recirculating, so it doesn't exhaust to the outside. So there's a charcoal filter as well as the vents that recirculate the air coming up from the bottom and the grease filters into the charcoal filter and then back out into the kitchen. Sometimes we don't always have the opportunity to vent to the outside, and this is just an example of how we get that done so that it can still filter the grease and the smoke. You'll also notice the tile. This is a new style of tile. It's a reeded tile. It's made out of porcelain. It picks up and accentuates the floor very nicely. It's a nice complement. And the tile was installed horizontally. So this tile can be installed horizontally or it can be installed vertically. In this particular case, the clients decided to install it horizontally. You'll also notice with the quartz countertops, we've got a beautiful finish. We also have a marble finish. Advantage of quartz, maintenance free, and they're warranted. So we can see on both sides, we have plenty of countertop space to prepare meals and cook. Another thing that you notice is we want to set up the hearth area so that it's convenient and everything's right here so that our clients can reach what they need to reach. So you'll notice here we have the pull-out shelf system on both sides. So we can see this pull-out shelf system. What makes this one different is it has the open top instead of the solid top. So this came out a few years later after they developed these pull-out shelves. The individual shelves are adjustable and removable. So if the client wanted to remove one and put taller items, they could do that. And the nice convenience about the open top is it's very easy to grab the condiments that you need while you're cooking. Another feature is you'll notice the 2 top standard drawers. So these regular drawers can be used for utensils, things like spatulas, soup spoons, cutting knives, whatever you may need while you're cooking. And then you'll notice the two drawers below and the two drawers below here are deeper. So these work for pots and pans. So this is really a beautiful setup to be able to have all the conveniences of everything you need to cook right in one spot with plenty of countertop space, and at the same time it looks gorgeous. Now we're going to take a look at the design of the island. We have our 4-drawer stack here, and these drawers can be used for things such as silverware, saran wraps, aluminum foil, things like that. They become very convenient when you have things that aren't requiring as much depth in the drawers. Then we have our stainless steel dishwasher. You'll notice that the sink is somewhat centered within the island. We also have the tilt-out tray, sponge, Dobie pad, things like that. And what's nice about this is it's also soft close, so it doesn't slam like a lot of them do, and then the items wind up in the floor of the sink. Here you can see that we have our double 50-quart garbage pail, so if you want to use it for garbage, recycling, however you want to use it, you can, but these are the bigger pails that are used, and this is also on a soft close mechanism. One of my favorites is the pop-up mixer, and you'll notice here that we have a rollout on the bottom where the accessories can be kept. And this one's a little different than what you may have seen in the other videos, and the reason being is it is made out of walnut. So instead of the maple butcher block top, it looks very rich in the walnut. A lot of times when people do contemporary designs, they'll do different things like walnut accents, walnut drawers, and accessories, and this is just an example of that. And this is plugged in, it's ready to go. And in order to put it back, there's just the 2 little triggers in the front here. You just pull them forward, and you can actually just let it go. And you can see that it soft closes on its own. And for anyone that's ever owned one of these, you know how heavy it is. So this is a great convenience. We placed it at the end of the island so that if it's being used, the cook can be within the inside of the cooking hearth and the island, and this is off to the side and it's not in the way when they want to use it. Another feature on both sides of the island is you'll notice the plug strips. Now these plug strips are a little different than the ones that we featured in the other videos in that it is a full receptacle. They make them in 2 different sizes. This is the full size. It has a stainless steel body with the black receptacle. And we have one on both ends to electrify the island in case any appliances or anything needs to be used on top of the island. When it comes to the lighting, a lot of our clients, instead of the recessed down lights where there's about 3 or 4 inches before the bulb starts, so it limits the spread of the light in the kitchen, these are called wafer fixtures. And you can see in a lot of our kitchens, we're using these type of fixtures now. These are 6-inch. They come in 2 sizes, 6 and 4s. And then you can also see this beautiful contemporary pendant light that the client picked out above the island. So again, the theme with this kitchen really came out very nice. It was done very well. Myself with the clients choosing all the different products. In this area of the kitchen where we find the refrigerator, you'll also find that we have a drawer microwave. And the reason that this is very convenient in this area, most of the time when people use microwaves, it's to warm something up, to reheat leftovers, or maybe something was frozen that they want to cook. So what's nice is we can open up the refrigerator, we can take the food components that we need, or maybe the food in the freezer. We can work on the countertop, unwrap them, do what we have to do, and then we can put them right in the microwave. So I really like this area. Again, you can see the consistency of the quartz top with the marble veining, and then again, the horizontal backsplash. It really complements the whole kitchen beautifully. This area of the kitchen was the pantry, so food storage. And you'll notice instead of the typical pantry with the tall doors on the bottom and the shorter ones on top, we wanted it to look a little richer. So we have the deeper drawers on the bottom. You will see this is a little bit of a trademark that Royal Kitchens likes, a little identifying design that we like to do in our kitchens because it's very easy. I don't have to really bend over to use these drawers. And then what we'll do is you'll notice that we also included the rollouts on the bottom too, because we don't want to be reaching up too tall and locking our elbows where it could be a safety hazard if we've got heavy items up here on rollouts. So you can see the 2 rollouts in the lower sections. And the same thing. So they have plenty of storage for a lot of their food and miscellaneous appliance and items like that. The clients also wanted an area as a coffee bar. And we can see this area worked out very nicely for different coffee machines that can be placed here and used. The other thing that you're going to notice that makes this a little different, if you look at the height from the top of the countertop to the bottom of the wall cabinet, it's taller. So this allows for those taller appliances to be placed. Also gives it a little bit of a different element. You can see here on my right, you have your standard 18 inches. And what we did here on my left is we raised it another 6 inches. Gives it a nicer look to complement the rest of the kitchen. And at the same time, it becomes very functional because you can fit those taller appliances, different types of coffee machines and such. So I want to talk about the cabinet. The cabinet brand is a company called Sightline. They're in Indianapolis and West Virginia. And they focus a little bit more on contemporary. And it's what we call a full access box. There's no face frame on the box. So we can see that the door itself is made of a composite veneer. It's called Wenge. And most of the doors, you'll notice, have a horizontal grain. Sometimes when the door gets too tall, we have to use a vertical grain because of the way that the product's made. But it does complement each other throughout the kitchen. Another thing to keep in mind, as I mentioned, this is a full access cabinet. So there's no face frame around the perimeters of the box. You'll also notice you have the 6-way adjustable, all metal hinge with the soft close mechanism. The hinges can move up and down, front and back, and left and right. And that's the little soft close mechanism. This particular kitchen, a lot of people sometimes get nervous if they want to save some money on the products to build the cabinets. So the box of this cabinet, it looks just like natural wood, but it's actually a 45-pound industry board. Now that can save anywhere from 15 to 20%. And what's interesting is the industry board has the same exact warranty as a kitchen that was built from this company with an all-wood interior. So it's a feature that we do sell for those clients that want to save some money, has the same warranty, and it holds up just fine. We do recommend, as you can see, this client put the shelf savers that can be purchased to protect it. You should do that no matter what the interior is made out of. But something of consideration, again, we have the industry board box with a lifetime warranty, looks just like real wood, holds up fine. So in conclusion, if you would like to contact Royal Kitchens and Baths in New City, New York, we would love to work with you designing a beautiful contemporary kitchen like this. Or, of course, we can go into different genres, anywhere from Italian palazzo, French country, Shaker mission, whatever your heart desires. We can make it happen at Royal Kitchens and Baths in New City, New York. And we do appreciate you visiting our website and taking a look at all these videos that we're posting.